Hello, everybody. It is your Divine Masculine's Zodiac reading today. So we're going to start over here. This is Aries, and we're going to follow the sine wave around all the way to Pisces, I believe is what it ends in, right? So the reason why I like to do that is because this is following, of course, the natural flow of the sine wave, the seasons, all the way from Aries through Pisces, summer and winter. So this is, there's a lot of symbolism in this, and I think a lot of you may understand that. I have the Platonic solids, which is the building blocks of creation, and of course the heart in there, because that is our center point, right? The center of the torus field, or the sine wave, why am I having a hard time talking today? It is also, the infinity symbol. So how all those things are interconnected, if you're not quite sure, even the primordial spiral, that is all integrated and part of this whole system. So do a little digging if you're not quite sure why these things are all related, but they are all related. And I think it'll help you a lot on your spiritual journey to understand these things. I do plan on offering some courses to help people understand how this works. And I do think it's actually important to understand, especially if you are on a twin flame journey. So this is a twin flame reading, but it's specifically for your divine masculine and their specific horoscope. So we're going to start out today with Aries. Let's see what we've got going on for our Aries divine masculines. All right, we have an interesting combination of cards here for our Aries divine masculine. We have the Devil mixed with the energy of Ace of Wands. So with these two cards showing up in combination, it could mean many different things, but the sensation and the feeling that I'm getting from this is that the majority of the divine masculines that this will apply to are going through, they've got some issues that they've been trying to navigate their way through, certain vices and addictions that there are benefits to them, but there are also a lot of things that have been harmed, or there's been an imbalance in their life due to these addictions and bad habits. Like, some of these things come from like a mental state that they're in. It may not necessarily mean that these addictions have something, that people oftentimes think that addiction automatically means, drugs or something like that. Not necessarily. Addictions can come in many, many, many different forms. The addictions can be to relationships. Addictions can be to particular trains of thought, like patterns of thinking. Sometimes we have a hard time admitting that behaviors that we are addicted to are there because we do, like, maybe they're not the greatest of behaviors, but we continue to keep doing them because even though we say we don't want them, there's actually some kind of a benefit to it, if we're really, really being honest with ourselves. Now, that energy, which is coming from the Devil card right here, something is binding divine masculine, your Aries divine masculine. But this card right here in combination with it means that there is like a new inspiration and an urge to create something new. So what I see happening with this Aries divine masculine is that they are wanting to let go, like actually let go of some of these habits and addictions that are based in very low energies. They want to let them go and make room and space for something better and something new. So this divine masculine is seeking change in their life. They don't want to be bound by the previous thought patterns, experiences, patterns, programming that have been a source of lack. That's the word, lack in their life. they want to let that stuff go and then let something that is healthier, more abundant, and uplifting in their life. So this divine masculine has some work to do, most definitely, but they are willing to do that work. They are willing to create something better and something new. And so because that willingness is there, they're most definitely going to achieve that. It may take some time, but they will. Now, our next divine masculine is our Taurus divine masculines. And they have the Star and Ten of Swords. Now, this is also an interesting combination of cards here, because with the Star, we have renewal, hope, clarity, kind of like a renewal of faith, really, like wow, like a new perspective, like hope is there because the light is at the end of the tunnel. It's that light that, like, wow, there are other ways to look at this. There are other, perspectives and actions and outcomes. And so it's all about renewal and faith and hope and having like an inner clarity and being able to really achieve your goals. Then you have Ten of Swords, and that is a different kind of energy, which is, you know, it's all about something ending. It's like something got so bad that they hit rock bottom, and it was a very, very painful process. But it was in hitting rock bottom that this divine masculine was able to get to this place right here with the Star. Like, this hitting rock bottom created something in them that was like, finally I can see the light. Now I understand. And so there's like this new hope, this way to like be able to like brush themselves off, get back up and keep going, because now they can see the light. Now they've figured it out. Whatever it was that has been bothering them had to get so big and so ugly, whatever it was that was holding them back, that they hit rock bottom, which created that rebirth, that renewal for this divine masculine. So that is actually a really positive outcome for both of these guys here, and girls. When I say guys, I kind of mean both. You know how we always say, like, what's up, guys? We're talking about guys and girls, just so you know. I feel like I have to be like careful with that, because since we're talking about divine masculine and divine feminine in these readings, I don't want people to get that mixed up with gender, because divine masculine and divine feminine energy in the twin flame dynamic is not about gender. Gender is a physical representation of the masculine and the feminine energy in a physical sense, but every single person has masculine and feminine energy. That is like the two like creative like energies. It's the positive and the negative polarities that we see manifest itself in millions and trillions of different ways in this realm that we are all in. So anyway, that's the reason why I'm always careful about how I say things in these, because I want people to understand, what it is and where it's coming from. So our next divine masculine is Gemini. Okay. Gemini has had their own card show up in their reading today. So the Magician is a Gemini card. This is very mercurial right here. And what I see happening for this divine masculine with these two cards showing up in combination is they have this ability to be able to turn like just about anything into gold. They can take really negative situations. They can take, going into debt, feeling stressed about money, and they can still have a way of being able to kind of magically turn that around. This divine masculine may seem like they're kind of up and down, up and down, up and down. It may come across as if they are unreliable or scattered, but there is a rhyme and reason to the way that they do things. And this gives them a very interesting ability to be able to turn, lead into gold. They really know how to alchemize situations in order to like benefit from it. It's sort of like a cat, like no matter how you drop the cat and what kind of like, you know, like angle that you drop them from, they have a way of being able to like always land on their feet. And so this divine masculine definitely has talent in that area. However, sometimes I think that it can create a little bit of cockiness, or a little bit of arrogance in this divine masculine, which will kind of keep them in this like yin yang, like ebb and flow. If they can get rid of that and humble themselves to, which I believe that they will. I really believe that they will. I mean, Gemini is the sign of twins. They are the dualistic sign, right? So they kind of do have that ebb and flow to them. But when they balance themselves out, then that harmony is created, and then they can really just transmute just about anything. They are the magicians of the zodiac, after all. And so that divine masculine's got a pretty good outcome going for them right now. Keep in mind that when I'm doing these zodiac readings for your divine masculine, this is just an energy that they possess, okay? This isn't really super reflective of the dynamic in the twin flame relationship. This is to just give you a sneak peek and a glimpse into, you know, something, some aspect of your divine masculine that may help you, divine feminine, in understanding the situation between the two of you. So what you find out about your divine masculine right here is not, in this kind of reading, is not about the relationship between the two of you. It's more about why they are who they are on an egoic and personality, like earthly level. And that could give you some potential insight to use your discernment on your journey in and of itself. So I hope that that gives you a little bit of clarification in this. In my other readings, I talk a lot more about the relationship between the two of you and how they see things and how you might see things and how that energy interacts with each other quite a bit. In this reading, it is strictly about an aspect of divine masculine's energy, okay? All right, so for the next set of cards, we are on to Cancer. And Cancer has Six of Pentacles and Nine of Cups. So this divine masculine has kind of done something pretty cool. They have taken a tendency toward having, you know, maybe a kind of attitude of being sort of lazy, looking for quick results, not taking great care of themselves. They have totally turned that around. And they're starting to, it's kind of what I'm getting from this is almost sort of like like a Scrooge thing. Like they may have been a bit of a Scrooge and sort of had a bad outlook, not really wanting to be helpful or generous. And that came from like maybe some traumas and some like behaviors that were a response to abuse or being treated poorly as they were growing up. Not necessarily by parents, but could have been peers through bullying, all kinds of different things. But they experienced some traumatic things, which gave them a very pessimistic and jaded perspective. But it's not really in a Cancer's nature to be that way. They're far more like loving and caring and generous than, you know, than some of the other signs. They're the caretakers. They're sort of like a motherly energy. Even in, you know, the males of this sign, there's this, like, it's about family, taking care of people and showing up and being loyal. And so the true nature of this divine masculine has been able to balance out some of these patterns of self-protection that were sort of forced upon this masculine through their childhood. As an adult, they've been able to really go in and really take a deep look at themselves and say, you know what, that's not who I am. That's not who I want to be. And what it did do is it gave this divine masculine an ability to be able to um, empathize with others in a way that not everyone can. So they see something about people. They've got an ability, a gift because of this, that gives them the ability to be able to see and understand people from a perspective that no one else can. So people actually feel very understood by this divine masculine. And this can be something that is past, present, and future. So there'll be a blend, just so you know, when you're looking at these energies from your divine masculine, there is a blend. It isn't going to be like, it could be that some of this started happening in the past and now it's blending into the present. It could be that this is sort of presently what's already going on, or it could be you're seeing this blending like happening now, where in the future, this is kind of what you can expect to have manifest with your divine masculine. All right, so our next card is for our Leos. Leos are pretty special. I have a son that's a Leo, and I'd call him my little lion heart all the time, and he does have a big lion heart. So for these guys, they're probably going through some kind of like a breakup right now. We have the Four of Wands in reverse, which shows me that something is changing in this divine masculine's life. They are either leaving a relationship, or they're moving to a new location. It could be that they're moving to a new job, moving to a new relationship. Something is changing domestically for this divine masculine. Big changes, not just little ones. There's like a big giant shift taking place in this divine masculine's world. And then we also have like mental clarity, which I think is what has brought this on. They've finally seen things with absolute clarity. And so in order to make changes, sometimes we need to be able to see clearly that the changes actually need to take place. And that's what I have seen in these cards for this divine masculine, is that they've gotten the clarity that they needed. They know why they're doing what they're doing, and they're doing it without any, like nothing can stop them. They're in that trajectory, and no matter what kind of energy comes in, they already know that this is the right decision. And so they're doing it. They're letting things go that they need to let go, and then they're moving on to what is a better fit and what is right for them. So that divine masculine, I think, is in a good place. There could be a lot of difficulty around whatever it is that they're letting go, but they're in the right place mentally right now. And they're quite stubborn about achieving this goal. They're going to make it happen. Our next divine masculine is our Virgo divine masculine. They have Two of Wands and Eight of Pentacles in reverse. It looks like they're probably going to be traveling sometime soon. There's definitely some kind of traveling going on this summer for this divine masculine. They're going somewhere. They're going to go visit someone. It may be family. It could be business related. But they're definitely going to be traveling away from home over the next couple of months. Or they could be traveling right now. But they also have a feeling of like they really want to, they're so focused on perfection. There's something about this divine masculine that is, with this card right here, they are perfectionist, 100% perfectionist. And they really are super, super, super hard on themselves if they feel like they're not achieving perfection, because they feel that they owe it to themselves, and then they very much feel like they owe it to the people in their life to be the very best version. And unfortunately, this may bleed away from them, and then because they kind of see everyone as a reflection of them. right? They do see that the friends and the company that they keep and the jobs that they have and the homes that they have, they see that all as as a reflection of who they are. And so they're first and foremost hard on themselves, but then they turn around and they are hard on the people that they love as well, because they want what's best for them. They want what's best for the people that they love. They feel this duty to make sure that everything is just so, and they think that they have it all figured out. And so they kind of push that on everyone, unfortunately. That's not always a good thing. The intention behind it is extraordinarily coming from a place of like love. Absolutely. Extraordinary love. But the extra might be a little too much extra sometimes with this divine masculine. They may not always allow for other people to decide for themselves what's right and wrong. And so they kind of need to pull that energy back a little bit and focus on themselves. Our next divine masculine is our Libra divine masculine. Our Libras are Aries signs. Libra. My dad's a Libra. I like Libras. All right. Things are not so great for this divine masculine right now. They're not feeling very good. Like, it's pretty obvious in these cards. It's 33, interestingly, but it's 33, one in the upright and then the other in the reverse. And so what I'm seeing here is that this divine masculine has not been focusing their time and attention and energy in the right places. They've definitely been getting pulled into a lot of conversations that have been very triggering for them. They are maybe spending time with people that are not the greatest of influences for them. They also have some kind of like pretty serious heartbreak that they're dealing with, maybe even a divorce. Maybe they're recovering from a divorce. Maybe they're heading into a divorce. Maybe it's just a really, really bad breakup that they've dealt with or are in the process of dealing with. If it's something that's happened in the past, they're not really over it yet. They're not. They haven't gotten over it. There's still some pretty serious processing that needs to take place, which is probably what's leading to a lot of the discussions that they're having. But I'm not quite sure that the advice that they're getting from the places that they're going to get advice are the healthiest for this divine masculine. But something is definitely weighing on them, and it's creating some depression. And they need to go within really and seek those answers for themselves. And they also need to give it time and space in order to be able to heal from whatever this relationship was that has done damage to them. And they need to be careful about who they're choosing to share it with, and who they're choosing to get advice from. You know, they may not be the greatest source for them. All right, our next is Scorpios. Scorpio divine masculines. I like the colors of these cards here. All right, so Scorpio, this divine masculine really wants to have like a happy, healthy relationship and family. They're super focused on it. They really, really want that. Like their whole life, they've wanted to create an environment of like wholeness, and they want to feel safe and secure. But the problem is they have certain issues regarding trust. It's very difficult for them to trust others. And so they have a tendency to sabotage relationships. They really, really want a relationship. But they keep sabotaging relationships. So it comes from a place of distrust. They really, what it is they don't trust themselves to make good decisions, and that's more of a them problem. However, it comes from having experienced loss, which, because they're very deep thinkers and they really love deeply, loss and betrayals affect them at a much higher, a much higher degree than others. Like some of the other people that they know can just get over things more quickly, but it's harder for them. It impacts them more deeply. And so the fact that they've gone through some difficulties and they've had their heart broken a few different times, they're very much having a hard time opening themselves back up to a relationship, even though they so desperately want one. It's like they just don't feel like they can trust it, or they're afraid to get too close because they don't want their heart to get broken. Our next is Sagittarius. Our Saggies. All right, this Sagittarius right here, this divine masculine, has been dealing with a relationship that is extraordinarily smothering. And this particular sun sign does not like to be smothered. Freedom is everything to them. They cannot be boxed up and contained. They are free spirits, free thinkers, and they need that freedom in order to feel confident in themselves and in the relationship. They treasure that above everything else. And so the person that can give them that freedom and trust them is the person that they will be 100% loyal to. Because this particular sign can probably stray. And the reason that they can stray is because freedom is something that they treasure above all things. However, if they find someone who can just give them their freedom, they'll actually be loyal to that person because they know that the person that can allow them that freedom is a rare, rare find in this world, and they won't want to do anything naturally to lose that. So they've been dealing with someone who's been really just trying to control them and smother them, and they're so done with it. They're so tired of having to deal with that it's given them that they've come to a turning point, and they're ready to take their chances and like go back out into the world and try to find something that is more appropriate for their needs and wants in a relationship. So they are at a turning point in that place of, wanting something new and something better and being open to it. Whatever it was with this person, they loved them very, very much, but the fact that this person was like holding them back and not allowing them to flourish, it's like a plant that's not getting water. They felt themselves like dying on a soul level in that way. And so they felt like they just had to go. They had to get out of that situation. It was causing them to spiral down. I mean, if you look at this card, in the upright, this is a very different thing, right? In the upright, this card is a nurturing person, healing and support. Look, it's growing, right? But in the reverse, it's the opposite of that. It is suppression. It is a smothering person, insecurity, and addiction. And that is, it moves them in a downward spiral. And so this divine masculine is done with that. They want to flourish. They know that there's something inside of them that they want to bring out into the world, and they're not going to be able to do it if they're around this person that's holding them back, even though they actually care about that person. So they're ready to move. They're ready to move away from it. All right, our next is Capricorn. Capricorn. All right, they are living in the past right now. There's something that they're not getting over. And it's creating problems now and problems in their future. I don't know what it is that the divine masculines that resonate with this are going through. It's different for all of them. So you'll have to kind of look at this with your own discernment as to how this applies. But there is something that they're not letting go of. And it's creating problems. It's a pattern that because there's viewing the world through this filter is creating ongoing problems that are validating. It's like a vicious loop. It's like a cycle. They can't break out of it because they can't see the way that it connects with how things are showing up in their world. So they're feeling, and there's naivety in this card right here. And that's what I think that's representing, is that they can't make the connection. There's something that they're not seeing, that they're being naive about. They have an unrealistic expectation, and because things haven't worked out the way that they have wanted them to, they keep feeling extraordinarily negative, and they can't let it go. Um, yeah, so there's a lot of frustration. This card is all about that. Um, they it's going to take them a little while. Like, that's what I'm feeling. It's going to take them a little while to, like, this pattern is going to have to stay around. Like, Eckhart Tolle always says suffering is only necessary until it's no longer necessary, which means that we only suffer from the same problem until we learn the lesson. And then when the lesson is learned, we don't suffer from the problem anymore. The universe will keep bringing us this pattern over and over again until we conquer it. And this divine masculine is trying to conquer something that is a big hurdle for them. But once this change takes place, which it absolutely will, they're going to be like a different kind of person. This is going to be like shedding a major layer for them. A huge weight will be lifted off their shoulder, and there will be a very big difference in how this divine masculine shows up when that shift takes place. But I think it's going to be a little while before that actually happens. That's the energy that I'm getting from that card, or from those cards, is that it's going to take some time, because they're still in a place where they're not making the connection. They just don't get it yet. But they will. They will. So keep the faith. All right. We have Aquarius. Aquarius, what's going on? All right. So this divine masculine has commitment issues. And it may not just be in relationships. It could be in just committing to a particular direction that they want to go in. They might seem like they're kind of shifting back and forth between outcomes and desires in their life. And it's really about not knowing themselves. They don't exactly know who they are right now, and they feel a little bit overwhelmed with life. Then we've got a feeling for them of, they want, what is it that I'm picking up on here? There's something that they want. Hold on. There's something that they want from their divine feminine. But like, patience is what they keep stumbling over. I don't know for sure what that's going to mean to you, but they're feeling very impatient about something, and it's their impatience that is tripping them up. Like, they're creating a delay by their impatience. So it's like a lesson that they need to learn. They're very, very impatient with their divine feminine about something. And because they're impatient about it, there's like this stubbornness, and they're like creating a problem. But what they're actually doing is they're creating a delay, which is exactly like what is feeding the impatience. And so they really need to like learn patience. And I think that this is why this is showing up in their life. They need to learn to be patient. So something is triggering them. I don't know what it is. I'd be curious if any of you guys have a Aquarius divine masculine, to know like what your feedback is on that. But that definitely, like, even though it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, it's coming through, because this is very specific to something. They're really bothered by whatever this is, and they want it to be done, and they want it resolved. And it's something to do with you, divine feminine, for sure. But they're actually creating the delay. I don't know if it's that they're wanting like a certain kind of relationship, or they're wanting you a certain kind of a way, but they're actually the ones who are creating the problem. And maybe they're blaming you for it, when in actuality it's them that's creating the issue. That's that's what I see. And this is the only one of these that have felt like it had something to do with their divine feminine. But I definitely feel like it has something to do with you, not a karmic. Maybe the karmic is involved somehow, but it's focused on you, divine feminine. Let me know if that makes sense to any of you guys. I'm curious to see, because that's kind of outside of the, it's kind of outside the box. Pisces. Pisces, our watery Pisces. All right, this divine masculine really wants balance and harmony really badly. Like they need it for survival, because inner emotions, they feel them very deeply. But they have maybe too many choices going on, and they're having a hard time resolving what their priorities should be. Like, what's the most important thing? And that's actually creating discord. And so what they're seeking is balance and harmony, but they have too many choices, and they're having a difficult time making a decision. And so what they're doing is they're just kind of sitting there, not making a decision, and being uncomfortable and probably somewhat moody about it, kind of maybe grouchy about it, because they're bothered. They're looking for clarity. That's what they're looking for. They're just kind of waiting. They believe very deeply that intuition will give them the answer. And so they're kind of just waiting. But in the meantime, they're probably extraordinarily moody, because they need the clarity in order to make the decision, and they need the decision in order to gain, so that they can move forward and gain harmony and balance. So something about this divine masculine, it's going to take a little bit of time, but I think that they are right. Intuition is going to guide them through this process. And so they're just going through a bit of an oscillation right now. But they are deeply in tune with their intuition, and they know that the answer is coming to them. So if they're a little bit moody and grouchy, maybe be a little bit patient with them and give them a little bit of leeway and space while they figure this out. You guys, thank you so much for being here for this reading today. I am honored and grateful to be able to do it for you. Please let me know if this resonated with you on any level at all with your divine masculines, and hopefully it gives you a little bit of insight into their current flow of energy. All right, you guys. Mwah. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.